If you would have asked me if I believe in the universe a couple of years ago, I'd say sure. If you ask me now, I don't think there are even any words to describe how sure I am of this concept of the universe and the way we manifested ourselves into this world, and that a lot of things remain unexplained. I just finished watching an Indonesian movie, which I normally don't do till the end, because most of the time it's a lot of drama. But this one in specific, it caught my eye because there was a tattoo parlor in it, and there was this beautiful woman. And those are two things that you need to get me locked in. And so everything kind of happened the way it was supposed to happen today. I started working pretty early. I'm in headhunting, so I had to finish that recruitment. And so I continued to watch that movie. And this movie is called Romeo Ingkar Janji, which kind of means Romeo and his promises. And this movie is like a woman falls in love with this guy, and they have the most beautiful love story. You know, they go on dates, they do beautiful things, and they fall in love with each other. But for some reason, this girl doesn't have a cell phone, and she lives with her friend. Fast forward, he falls head over heels for her, and they encourage each other to go back home and fix whatever went wrong with their parents.
Jujur sama orang tua kita, gimana?
Oke.
Deal.
And so the guy goes back home, fixes his relationship with his mom. She goes back home. And they realize they really love each other. So the guy then goes, I want to bring you to my mom. Have you met her? So she knows you're my girlfriend. As soon as they plan that, she walks up to the house. She faints in front of the house at the same time that his mom faints at the local market because they were going to get some stuff to cook a beautiful dinner. He comes by the house a couple of times, but the guy doesn't let her know that he's at the hospital because she doesn't have a phone. So he leaves a letter at the house in case she goes back there. And the letter kind of flows away. The plot twist of this movie is when he's at the hospital with his mom, he realizes that the girl he's in love with, Agatha, she's in a coma. And so she's in a coma, and he has been in love with a spirit all this time.
Yeah.
Bisa aku selama ini ketemu dia sementara tuh, Bu. Sementara dia terbaring di situ selama 4 bulan.
Iya, tapi tuh kamu yakin itu Agatha yang sama selama ini kamu ketemuin?
Iya, Bu. Iya. Aku pertama ketemu dia, aku ngajak ngobrol, aku ajak jalan, Bu. Berkali-kali, nggak cuma sekali, Bu. Sampai aku yakin itu perempuan pilihanku. Sampai aku mau ngeluarin ke Ibu. Sampai aku mau pernah yakin ini, Bu.
And the best friend that she was living with, she visited him. And she said,
Ya takdir tau gak sih? Harus dikelarin.
Kalau takdir, siapa yang harus kelarin?
Semesta.
There are so many things that happen in the universe that we cannot explain. But I guess you should know by now that a lot of things we just can't explain. Not everything we can explain. And so it turns out Agatha was in a car accident. So when she woke up, she didn't recognize him. But he went by to give her kisses and say,
Gak ada yang bisa jelasin ke aku kenapa aku bisa ketemu sama kamu. Ketemu sama roh kamu saat itu. Mungkin ini kali ya. Cara Tuhan buat ngasih tahu kalau cinta sejati itu nggak butuh fisik. Makanya kita dipertemukan dengan cara yang di luar nalar manusia. Meskipun ternyata kamu benar-benar gak nyata. Aku benar-benar bisa merasakan kalau aku cinta sama kamu dengan seluruh jiwa aku, Agatha.
And she visits, she gets better after the coma, and she visits his tattoo shop. And she goes, he looks familiar. Steps into the tattoo parlor, gets a tattoo.
Aku mau tato.
Kenapa milih studio tato ini?
Nggak tahu. Random aja. Kenapa?
Kalau nggak mau,
Oh, ini kalungnya punya almarhum sahabat gue, Runa.
Oh, aku Romeo.
Sama dong berarti kayak inisial yang ada di kalung gue. Kayak jodoh ya?
Because mind you, he knows her spirit. But her body doesn't know him. She forgot about the whole love story. I think the essence of this movie is so beautiful because it just made me sit and realize that this was the exact answer that I needed on a question that I had a couple of days.
Ini, detik ini, gue mau jadi Agatha yang ada di situ. Bukan yang di sini berdiri doang, bisa ngeliatin semua orang tapi nggak bisa ngerasain sentuhannya. Lo harusnya bersyukur, Ta. Lo dipilih buat ngerasain kesempatan kedua.
It reminded me a lot of the love connection that I've had, the last one that I've experienced, which was so deep. And I was pretty sure that this was my soulmate or one of my soulmates. And I was so head over heels for this person. And we truly had this really beautiful love. But I had to realize throughout my awakening that we will come across soulmates. And sometimes we really just can't explain things that happen in the universe. And I think this was such a beautiful example because I am quite visual. I am quite a visual learner. I am into making movies. I make movies, that's how I understand most of the stuff. And so the way that the universe was able to communicate with me through this movie says so much about everything. And so this movie was happening and I was crying so much and my mom wasn't understanding why I was crying. And I just closed my eyes and I said, "Thank you, Source. Thank you for this beautiful message." Because I did miss them. I missed the person that I was thinking of the last couple of days and I missed our love connection. But I just needed to be reminded of the fact that sometimes the love itself was beautiful to have. And a specific sentence in a specific line in the movie made me grasp it all.
Kamu gak mau nanya?
Agatha udah sembuh atau udah pergi untuk selamanya. Apapun itu, dia sudah mendapatkan apa yang diinginkan. Agatha selalu ingin pulang, Bu. Yuk.
She managed to go back home, and that's all she ever wanted. And that is the point of accuracy that got so scary, because me and this who I thought was a soulmate of mine, the love that we had went so deep because we were able to pinpoint certain family wounds that we had seen in each other, and we would encourage each other to go to the roots of these wounds. And apparently that was the one thing that also made sure we separated. The trigger, he was a conflict avoidant, and I was a conflict avoidant as well. And so I kind of feel that the universe wanted to tell me with this movie. And it might sound woo-woo, but this is just for the people that believe it, okay? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. The way that this movie was perfectly describing the love that I had with this person, and the way that I had been missing them the past couple of days, it made me realize that some loves are just here to teach us or to encourage us to go back home, which is where I am right now. I have been at home with my mom for the past couple of weeks, honestly, to mend so many wounds that needed mending before I stepped into this beautiful beautiful season of myself. And something tells me that they had the opportunity to go back to the big wounds as well that were formed by their family. And so it's in these specific moments that I get to be really thankful and really grateful, and I just wanted to share that with you guys. It was so wholesome. Even looking at the sky right now, how beautiful it is. This is a gift that we get every day. And I get to be so grateful, and I was crying and I was holding my heart and I was like, Source, thank you for this beautiful message. Thank you. And it's just not a feeling that I could describe to anyone not in this journey, It's so magical. Thank you for listening to my story.